Well, Live 5 has followed the Charleston County transportation sales tax referendum for months as leaders gather feedback and reshape the proposal.
Now the plan is inching closer to a spot on your November ballot. Our Gracie Kirshner joins us live outside of the Charleston County Public Services building with what comes next in that process. Good morning.
Good morning, Anna and Shelby. I had the chance to talk with County Council Chairman Joe Boykin ahead of tonight's Transportation Sales Tax Committee meeting, and he says after months and months of public input and reworking the draft, County Council should be recommending a final draft tonight. Now, if voters do approve, the referendum would generate about $4.25 billion over 25 years. Since the first draft, Council has already made key changes, including trimming $75 million from the battery extension project and shifting $45 million of that to additional projects in North Charleston. They've also reworked funding across the three main categories, moving money away from the Greenbelt program into public transit. Right now, just over 63% would go toward roads, traffic upgrades, and bike and pedestrian projects. More than 20% would go to transit, while just over 16% would be reserved for the Greenbelt program. Those allocations, though, passed by a tight 5-4 vote. Tonight, leaders will take another pass at the proposal using a second round of public feedback. Boykin says he doesn't expect sweeping changes, and he hopes Council will direct staff to begin drafting ballot language. That wording would still need final Council approval, and there are many ways to do that, which may be up for debate in Council. For Boykin, one thing matters most: transparency, and that doesn't stop now that the public input period is over.
We have had participation from the public, our voters, our citizens of Charleston County like we've never seen it before. That makes me feel much better about this ballot measure, that people are concerned, they're interested, and they're inquisitive, and they want information. And so that's encouraging. And so I feel very good that we have done a very transparent process. You can go back all the way to the beginning and see how we've gotten this information, how we have made these public comments part of the ballot itself.
If County Council does give the green light tonight, that'll give county legal staff the go-ahead to start drafting the ballot question. But there will be many ways for that to be phrased. Boykin says he is a big proponent of putting the whole thing out there for all of you guys to see. Then it'll head to County Council for 3 rounds of approval after it goes to committee. But there is a deadline. The clock is ticking. That's August 15th. It has to be submitted to the Board of Elections to show up on your November ballot. That process begins tonight. Reporting live in Charleston County, I'm Gracie Kirshner, Live 5 News.